Cindy, good to see you. Awesome. Well, so far we have a small group tonight, but I'm sure it will grow as people pop off of the COC call and hop over here with us. Hey, Asim, good to see you. Y'all pop over to the chat. Let me know where you are listening in from tonight and how long you've been drinking ketones. That's always fun. It's also fun to know if this is your first power hour. That way I kind of have a better idea who we've got on. Awesome, Florida. Hey, Karen. Congratulations on your last treatment today, sister. I almost cried when you sent me that text. That was amazing. So happy for you ringing that bell. Amazing. San Diego, awesome. We're starting just a couple minutes late, guys. I know the COC call was running long and everybody was over there on that amazing call. So text some messages out to your team. Say, hop over to Power Hour. We are going to crush it tonight, get a lot of activity in 30 to 40 minutes and move our businesses forward. Fantastic. Awesome. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Beth. Hey, Ashley. Pop over to the chat. Let me know where you're listening in from. Washington, Oceanside, Pennsylvania. Perfect. We're going to get started in about 1 more minute, maybe less. I want to honor y'all's time tonight, but I also want to give enough time for people to get on. Hey, Brenda. All right. For those of you who are on, I like to do action hour from my computer so that I can have my phone in hand, because that way I don't have to keep going back and forth between video. So if you need to switch gears and do that, you can. I do love to see people on video. It's just more fun to see your face. So I'm not just talking to a bunch of names, but I also understand if you have your phone in hand and you are getting busy and actually doing the activities, it's totally fine for your video to be off as well. Awesome. We're loading it up. Send out a few more messages, invite your teams to get on and join us tonight. We're going to do some great activity and work together. Okay, well, I will go ahead and get started and introduce myself. I know more people will be popping on. But my name is Melissa Butler. I'm one of the champs on your team. I got to host Action Hour a couple weeks ago and had a blast doing it with Shea. Tonight I'm on my own, but that is perfectly fine. We are going to have so much fun working this together tonight. I've been drinking ketones for almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in January. I'm a mom to almost 4 kids. I have 3 little girls and a little boy on the way. I'm about 21 weeks pregnant. I still drink my ketones in pregnancy. I did it in my 3rd pregnancy as well, and it's just been amazing. And my husband and I share ketones full time. I used to be an elementary school teacher and counselor. So that's my background. So I love this kind of stuff. I love getting to teach and talk and share with you guys different ideas. So what we're going to be doing tonight, if this is your first action hour or you're new to action hour, is we're just going to get into action. That's what this is about. It's about taking 30 to 40 minutes out of our week and really digging in and doing some activities that are going to move our business forward, that are going to produce income in our business, that are going to result in growth in our business. And so action hour is a great place for you to learn what those activities are. I want you to do them alongside me to the best of your ability. I'm going to give you time where I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to let you just work, but I'm going to give you really specific directive. But then also the goal of this is so that you can take these ideas throughout the week and continue this process when you have time to work your business during the week as well. So that's kind of our goal tonight. So one thing that I always love to start with whenever I sit down to work, whether I'm sitting at my desk at home or I used to, when I was working full time, I would work on my breaks. I would work at my lunch break, go sit out in my car. Whenever I had 10 or 15 minutes, it was always so important to get my mindset where it needed to be, because it's really hard, especially at the end of the day. I can hear my kids in the other room trying to get put to bed and they're crying and my head is just not in the right space. And so it helps me to get my mindset right. So we're going to take like 2 minutes And we're going to get our mindset right simply by sending out some texts of gratitude. So a couple messages out to people we're grateful for. So pick a family member, shoot them a quick text or a message or a really close friend and just say, I'm just incredibly grateful for you, and tell them why. And then I'd also choose someone within your ketone business, whether it's a teammate or it's a customer that you're very grateful for. Maybe they're a loyal SmartShip customer or someone brand new that is trusting you with their health. Send just 2 quick text messages. So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to get those sent out, and then we'll move on to our first activity. And I'm going to do this right alongside you. If you are just hopping on, guys, we're sending out a couple of text messages of gratitude to either family members, teammates, close friends, new customers in our business. Send out a couple texts just of gratitude. That's such an important thing to do every single day in our business. All right, take a few more seconds, finish up those text messages, and we're going to move on. Okay, awesome. I know that Ashley talked about this on a recent Power Hour, and I did a few weeks ago as well. One of the things that I have been really focused on is utilizing this Rhino tracker. So our next activity is to pull out your Rhino tracker. And if you can come on video for me for just a minute, hold up your tracker, show me you've got it so I know I'm not alone. Pull up your tracker that you're using so far this month. And then also, if you have any trackers from last month, I want you to pull those out as well. So if you don't have a tracker, guys, head over to the Better Starts Here Facebook group. The file is in that group and you can print one of these off. Super, super easy. If someone can help me out and even throw the link to print that off in the chat, that would be amazing because I don't have it right in front of me right now. But pull out your trackers. Hopefully you have one started for this month. Maybe you have a couple boxes filled out, maybe a couple lines. That's amazing. Maybe you have multiple filled out already. That's incredible. And pull out your tracker from last month as well, because we're going to utilize these. Woohoo! Awesome. Way to go, Joanne. Or Joan. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Awesome job. Very cool. Okay, so we are utilizing these trackers, guys, because this business is all about new conversations. It's all about having new conversations with as many people as you can about ketones. And this is such an incredible way for you to keep track of that. I have done so many systems and tried so many things over the last couple of years. And truly, this is the simplest way to do it. Fill out these boxes. So every time you start a new conversation with someone about ketones and they respond back to you, their name gets to go in a box. That's how I utilize it. And I utilize the boxes at the top to check off when I have shown them the campfire video. I put a little orange square around their name if they've ordered from my website. And I keep notes at the bottom of who I am sending sample packs to. This is just what works for me. So what we are going to try to do tonight is hopefully fill in a few more of these boxes by starting some new conversations. Reaching out and starting conversations has always been the part of my business personally that I kind of put off. I like to do posts. I like to get creative on social media. I like to do the attraction part, but just reaching out to people and talking to them about ketones has always been challenging for me. So I pushed myself to do it first. So that's what we're going to do on Action Hour tonight. I'm going to give you some different wording and some different ideas of how you can start some new conversations tonight. And so you can start adding some more names to your Rhino tracker. So I have copied and pasted some wording and I'm going to put it into the chat. This is my wording. You can absolutely change this to fit you and fit your story and who you are, but I'm going to walk you through each of these in different scenarios that I would use them. Okay. So the first one would be for either people who have sent you a recent friend request on Facebook, or they have followed you recently on Instagram or TikTok. Depending upon what platform you are using that you get the most out of, that's where I really want you to focus tonight. So the first one is simply how you would reach out to someone if they have recently followed you or friended you on one of those platforms. So, hey there, this is what I would say. Hey there, thanks for the follow. I'm curious what led you to my page. I'm a homeschooling, work from home, keto-ish mom. So I just kind of described who I am and what I put out there to the world on my platforms, on my social media. And I said, are you currently doing a keto or low carb lifestyle too? I tend to share a lot of recipes and talk about ketones a lot. So people will follow because they're interested in that, but it's okay to come right out and ask them. So you can copy and paste this wording if you need to into a Word document or into your phone notes so you have it, and you can tweak it to sound like you and to describe you. So that's one way that you could start some new conversations, is going through and finding the people who have recently followed you on Instagram or have recently sent you a friend request, and using some type of wording like that to kind of find out what they're interested in. If someone were to respond back to me and say, yeah, I'm doing keto or I'm trying to eat low carb, if they said they're trying to do keto, one of the things I always come back and say is, oh, awesome. Are you doing the drink or are you doing the diet? And that opens up the conversation for me to find out if they're utilizing ketones as well. So you can write that down as well. Are you doing the drink or are you doing the diet? So another way you can start some new conversations would just be doing a green light challenge. And I know Ashley's talked about this as well on recent action hours. I do this in Facebook Messenger. That's where it works best for me. So I'm just going to show you real quick. If you are familiar with the green light challenge, drop a 1 in the chat so I know who already knows how to do this. But if you're not, I'm going to show you real quick. So I'm going to pull up my Facebook Messenger on my phone. Awesome. And at the very bottom, it has chats, people, and stories. And chats is what it's always open to because those are my current unread conversations. But I'm going to click people. And what this is going to do is it's going to show me all the names that have a green light next to them. And that means those are people who have actively used Facebook Messenger or Facebook within the last several minutes, right? So they have their phone in hand. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down this list a little bit because the first several people are going to be people I tend to talk to all the time. So I'm going to scroll down this list until I find a name pop up that's someone that maybe I don't really recognize their name. I'm not sure exactly how I know them. So I'm going to pull up that person. And then I might send them some wording like the second one that I sent over in the chat. So I said, this is actually wording. I sent out about 15 of these earlier today to people and doing a green light challenge. So I said, hey there, hope you had a great Tuesday. Not sure if you're familiar with ketones yet or not, but they've been a game changer for me as a busy mama. I'm starting some fun accountability groups headed into the holidays and helping as many friends as I can gain energy and feel good in their skin. Would love to tell you more about it. Are you drinking ketones yet? So this is a pretty bold message, and this used to terrify me sending something like this out. If it scares you to send out messages like that is okay, but that's the kind of activity that is going to move us forward and help us start new conversations. But you have to do it in a way that's really genuine and fits you and how you would talk. So I came up with this wording this morning. It was the mood I was in. That's how I would have said it to someone if I just ran into them on the street. So I typed it up that way. So you can change it if you've only been drinking ketones maybe for a couple months. You can say something like, they've been a game changer for me the last couple months since I was introduced to them, and I'm so excited to share them with other people. Okay. And as far as doing the accountability groups, that's the 10-day drink ketones challenges that we're doing as a community. That's what I'm referring to. So we're in the middle of one right now. So if someone's interested, I would say, oh, I'm in the middle of one right now. I would love to have you join us and get you added to the group. Or I have another one starting in December, but I would love to get you going with ketones before then so that you can get started on your journey. And then the last one is simply a message I would send out to someone who has recently shown some love on one of my posts on social media. So it might be on a Freebie Friday post that I did. It might be on a transformation post that I did, or just something about talking about my energy with the product. Anytime that someone has not necessarily just commented, but even just liked your post and just shown it some love, or a reel that you've done in Instagram, you can send them something super simple. Hey, thanks for the love on my recent post. I'm curious, are you drinking ketones yet? And that's a really simple one. So if you have not yet, screenshot those, copy and paste those into your phone notes, and you can tweak those to work for you. And our goal right now is to send out 3 to 5 messages starting new conversations using one of these 3 scripts or a script that works best for you. So I want you to take a couple minutes. You can either reach out to brand new people who friended you or followed you with that first script, tweak it to sound like you. You can use that second one and do a green light challenge for a couple minutes and send out some messages, or you can use that last one for the recent love on a post. So once you have sent some out, drop in the chat how many you have sent. Let's see. Susan, I'm going to drop it in the chat one more time. If you scroll up, you should be able to see it, but if you just open your chat, then you might not. All right, let's see. There we go. I sent it in there again, Susan. Okay, awesome. I'm glad you got it. Okay, so you can copy and paste that, screenshot it. Let's send that out to a couple people. We're going to take the next 3 to 4 minutes and send out some messages starting new conversations to as many as we can. And once we're done, I'm going to have you drop how many you did. Even if it's one, that's amazing, and we will celebrate that. And I'm going to do the same right along with you. Okay, I just threw one more in there in the chat for you guys because as I was doing it, this is some wording I just used. Sometimes when I'm doing a green light challenge, I will pull up someone's name and realize I talked to them back in 2019 about ketones and they never responded back to me, or we somehow the conversation got lost. So for those of you who have been around a while, or maybe you have had conversations in the past that have just fallen flat, this is some wording that you can use. So, hey, Susie Q, it's been a while since we last chatted ketones. How is your health journey going? So you're just showing interest in them and starting that conversation again. A great thing to do for this is if you have old trackers that you've used and people that you haven't followed up with in a couple months, you could go back to those people. Another thing you can do in Facebook Messenger that I absolutely love is you can actually search keywords. So when you're in your chats at the very top, you can actually search at the very top of your chat side, the button on the left, there's a search icon and you can type in there ketones, you could type challenge, you could type reboot, whatever it is you want to find conversations about. And it's going to pull up all the conversations in the past where you've mentioned that word. So that can help you find some people who maybe you've talked to in the past, but have totally fallen off your radar. So that's another way you can really get some conversations going again. So I'm going to give you a couple more minutes to send out a few more messages. Be bold, do it scared. There's sometimes I have to just close my eyes and click send. I don't know why it worries me that much. It's always been hard for me, but if it's hard for you, just know you're not alone. Let's send out a few more messages. Take one more minute, send a few more messages out. Okay, if you sent out some messages and you want to be bold, drop in the chat how many messages you just sent out. I would love to see it. Then we will move on to our next part. I know you guys sent some. 7, whoop, whoop, Ashley. Way to go. 4, Brenda, fantastic. Pam sent 6, Erica sent 15, whoop, whoop. 7, 8, 4, 4. You guys are amazing. Awesome. 3, I'm still nervous about it. Kristen, I get it. That is me too. And that is totally okay. But 3 is 3 more than you would have done if you hadn't gone on here tonight. So give yourself a huge pat on the back, save that wording and keep doing it. That is amazing. I love this. 7, and did it scared, Michelle. Yes. Way to go, guys. Susan said, I'm bold enough to say I got 0. I can't figure out who to send it to. That is okay, Susan. So a couple things. Remember, you can go to people who have shown love on any recent posts you've done on social media that have had to do with ketones, or maybe Freebie Friday if you've done that. Any new people that you have become friends with on social media, you can reach out to, or just people you've never talked about ketones. I know that's the scariest one, but opening up that green light challenge in your Facebook Messenger and just scrolling through your friends, you're going to bring up your friends list and finding people you just have not talked to yet. 3 texts. I don't have social media. That was out of my comfort zone. Way to go, Beth. Way to go. That's amazing. You've got this. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do tonight, so I want you to keep that in mind about the messages and the reach outs. That is going to move your business forward as hard as it is. You don't have to be weird. You don't have to send someone a friend request and then immediately send them a message like network marketing is known for. You don't have to do that activity to move forward, but starting genuine conversations and thinking, I genuinely want to help as many people feel as amazing as I do, and let that lead you. You can do it in a way that's creative and that fits you. So way to go, guys. Super proud of y'all. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a post on social media, specifically in stories. So I want you to pick if you are more comfortable doing stories in Facebook, use Facebook. If you are more comfortable doing stories in Instagram, we're going to do Instagram. I'm going to use Instagram because I have the two connected. Awesome. She's not going to go to bed tonight until she gets one out. I love it. So I'm going to do a story in Instagram. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a really simple, just curiosity tile, like a one post in our story, that's kind of leading people towards our guest call that is tomorrow night. Remember, we have our Maximize Your Ketones call every Wednesday night. Tomorrow night, Jody is our host. She is phenomenal at explaining the product, the science, going over all of the amazing stories, the smart ship, and then she will go into a little bit about the opportunity and the community. She does a beautiful job. So if you are not inviting people to that call on a weekly basis, you are missing out on using that amazing tool that will do the work for you, so you don't have to do the work. So we're going to do a post tonight in your stories, and you can also do one on your feed. Okay, so if you have time or you want to do that later tonight or tomorrow, you can. But we're going to start with one in our stories. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to pull up, let's see, I'm going to do it in Instagram. So I'm going to pull up where I can load a new story, and I'm going to click upload because I'm going to upload a picture. And the picture I want you guys to upload is either a selfie you have of you with your shaker cup or with a packet of ketones that you've maybe taken in the past. It doesn't have to be one you take right now. You can find one from an event that you went to or from a place where you drank ketones that was really beautiful, something that's eye-catching. You can do some type of selfie with your drink, or you can just choose a graphic from that you have saved on your phone or from like the Better Starts Here Facebook group. There's tons of graphics in there of our product. So I'm going to keep it super simple, and I'm going to choose a 10-day drink ketones challenge box. That's all it looks like. Okay. And what we're going to do is some simple text on there and a poll that's seeing who's interested in learning a little bit more. So I'm going to, at the top, I'm going to add some text, and I'm going to say, been curious about this drink I can't stop talking about. So been curious about this drink I can't stop talking about. And I'm going to put that at the top. Been curious about this drink I can't stop talking about. And then I'm going to add some more text at the bottom that says, if you could be a fly on the wall and just listen and learn a little more about it, would you want to? And I'll say that again. Okay. I'm going to change this so you can see the color a little bit better. Okay. You don't have to do this exactly like mine. You can change your wording. You can get creative with your text, whatever works best for you. But at the top, I'm putting, been curious about this drink I can't stop talking about. And at the bottom, I put, if you could be a fly on the wall and just listen and learn a little bit more about it, would you want to? Okay, I'm going to type that real quick into the chat, and then we're going to add a poll to this as well. I'm curious about this drink I can't stop talking about. If you could be a fly on the wall, okay, if you could be a fly on the wall, no, not a fly, not the wall, but you guys get it. If you could be a fly on the wall and just listen and learn a little bit more about it, would you want to? So that's what I'm putting on the text of my tile. So now I'm going to add a poll to that. And on one side of the poll, I'm going to simply put yes with an exclamation mark. And on the other side, I'm going to put how. And I'm going to put that poll right underneath my text, if you can see that. So right underneath where I put, if you could be a fly on the wall and just listen and learn a little bit more about it, would you want to? Yes, and how? And so hopefully what's going to happen is over the next 24 hours, you're going to have a few people who've maybe been watching or been interested hit that poll. And then you will have the opportunity to invite them to our guest call tomorrow night. And the Zoom link for that will be in the Prove It Pulse. So if you can do this right now and get your story tile up, awesome. If not, at least save this idea so that when we hop off tonight, you can do it, or first thing in the morning, get it up. But the quicker you get it up, the more time it's going to have to sit in your story so it can collect votes or interest for tomorrow night. Awesome. Where is the add poll option? So at the top, using Instagram stories, I'm going to click the sticker that looks kind of like a face. And when you click that, it's going to give you a lot of different options. It's going to say location, hashtags, links. And if you scroll down, there's one that says poll. I didn't put any wording in the top of the poll. I just clicked the buttons to change what the words say on each side of the poll. So they don't just say yes or no. You can change them to say yes or how or yes, tell me more, whatever you prefer. Awesome. If you've got your slide up, say done in the comments. Susan's got it. Erica's got it. Fantastic. We are going to get that up on social media right now. All right, mine's done. It just loaded to my story. Okay, so we have started new conversations tonight. If people are starting to already reach back out to you from those messages, just hold the phone, just wait, let those build up in your messenger. You can respond to those later when we get off of here, but let's keep going. So we did our messages. Several of you have gotten your slide up, inviting people or getting some curiosity around the call tomorrow night. And the next thing we're gonna do is some follow-up messaging, inviting people to the call. And I'm going to give you some very specific wording that you can use for this in different scenarios in which you can invite people. So one of those is going to be if people hit your poll. Whenever someone hits a poll in my story, I always say to them, hey, thank you so much for hitting the poll in my story. And then I address whatever it is the poll was about. So in this case, I would say, hey, thank you so much for hitting the poll in my story. Excited you want to know more about ketones. And then I would say, if I sent you the link for this call tomorrow night at 7:30, would you want to hop on? That is super important. If I sent you the link for the call, would you want to hop on? That if would statement is really powerful. So you want to make sure you always ask before you just blast them with the link, right? You want them to have that engagement, say, yes, I really did hit your poll on purpose. I really do want to know more. And if they do that, add them to your Rhino tracker. Okay, that's a new conversation, a new person that's interested. So that would be one thing. Let me go to my Word document real quick and pull up my other wording for follow-up. Okay. Hold on one second. If you have not quite gotten up your tile on your story yet, you can still be working on that. Okay, so this next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our trackers. So trackers from this month so far, or a tracker from last month. If you don't have a tracker full of names, that is totally okay. Hopefully somewhere you have written down people you've had conversations with about ketones. Okay, somewhere. Awesome. She's holding up her spiral notebook. I love it. So that's me. I have them written all over the place. I could go into my shelf over there and pull out all these different papers with old names from years ago that I should go back and follow up with. So what we're going to do is we're going to send some wording to people who maybe were interested at one time. Maybe you sent them the campfire video and they ghosted you and never responded after that. Maybe you did follow up with them a couple times. Maybe they tried samples, but they never quite ordered. Just some people that really never jumped in. So this is some wording that I would use for that. Hold on, let me change it to everyone real quick. Okay. And like I said before, change this to sound like you, however you would talk. But here's what I would say. Hey girl, I know you were curious about ketones, but not quite ready to jump in. I wanted to let you know my team is doing an amazing call tomorrow night where you can just listen and learn a little more about the science and benefits of this drink and our amazing community. If I sent you the link, would you want to check it out? Okay. So copy and paste that wording, screenshot it, save it to your phone so you have it. And this is the wording I want you to use to reach out and message people who have not quite been ready to jump in with ketones, but you've had conversations with in the past. And you can tweak this too. You could tweak this to send out to someone brand new as well. But I really want you to focus. I have a lot of people from last month that don't have an orange box around their name. That means they never placed an order, but they were interested in ketones. So I'm going to spend some time tonight and some time tomorrow sending all of those people this exact message, because I want them to have another opportunity to hear about ketones outside of just from me. And that third-party validation of hopping on that call might be what it takes for them to decide to try a sample pack or to try a 10-day challenge or something along those lines. So this is the wording I'm going to use. And like I said, tweak it to work best for you. So we're going to spend the next couple minutes. I know we're already over the 30-minute time mark, but we started a little late. So I'm going to let us go for a few more minutes. And I want you to send this wording to a few people that you have written down from earlier this month, last month, maybe the month before. And let's get some invites out for the call tomorrow night. If you guys have any questions while we are doing this, or about any of the activities that we've done tonight, the new conversations, the posting on your story, or about following up and inviting to the call, please ask. We're going to wrap up here in just a couple minutes. But let's get out as many follow-up messages as we can and as many invites for our call tomorrow night so we can load that up for Jody, because that will be amazing. I will share one more thing that I sometimes do for these calls. I don't do it every week, but something that sometimes works well for me is that I'll sometimes do a giveaway of like a 3-day trial pack of ketones or a 5-day. And I'll include that in this message. So I'll say something along the lines of, I wanted to let you know my team is doing an amazing call tomorrow night where you can just listen and learn a little bit more about the science and benefits of this drink and our amazing community. And there will be a chance for you to win some free ketones. If I sent you the link, would you want to check it out? And so what I do is if they do decide that they want the link, then I say, awesome, make sure that you send me a quick screenshot that you're on tomorrow night and you'll be entered to win. Okay. And so that's kind of that extra layer of accountability for them to actually get on. And then I'll write those names down between now and tomorrow night. And about 30 minutes before the call starts, so it's 7 o'clock Central tomorrow night, I'll set an alarm on my phone to reach out to all the people who were interested in hopping on and just say, hey, just want to remind you, call starts in 30 minutes. Don't forget to snap a screenshot, send it to me so you can be entered to win some free ketones. And you can just give away a 3-pack. It doesn't have to be anything big, but sometimes it's just that little extra accountability or that little extra nudge that helps people want to jump in. So if you haven't done something like that, that's another thing that you can try as well. Okay, guys, we are at the 40-minute mark. We're almost at 45 minutes. I don't want to take any more of your time tonight, but I hope that this call was helpful to you guys tonight. Whether you actually got some activity in, which is my hope, I hope that you did some of it alongside us. I know sometimes it can be hard. I've had people tell me that in the past, that it's kind of overwhelming, but you're gathering these ideas. So make sure you take these and put them into action. So even if it's just one of these ideas, starting new conversations or doing follow-ups and inviting to the call, take one of these, spend a couple more minutes tonight, maybe sending out a few more messages, and then start your day with that tomorrow, reaching out to a few more people and inviting them. That will be huge. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. Let's see. Awesome. Thank you guys. You guys were fantastic tonight. All right, we'll go ahead and close it out. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being on with me and being so engaged. It was a lot of fun. Let's just crush it and invite people to this call tomorrow night and move our businesses forward. You guys rock. Have a wonderful night. Good night, everyone.